James Bond. James Bond.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I drink your milkshake.
You can't handle the truth. You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Movie Mafia podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Trout, joined here again, Lauren, Max, Gabby, and we have a new special guest, Carter. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Movie Mafia, man.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Glad to be here. Very excited.
Absolutely. How have you guys been doing? How's your guys' week been? We're almost to the end of the semester. I'm graduating. You guys are advancing. Most of you guys are advancing a semester, advancing another year in college. What's it like? How are you guys feeling?
Depressed. I don't want to leave.
Oh, no.
It's only like 3 months.
Yeah, I'm happy it's done. I'm done with my first year, so I'm ready to just get to the fall already.
Yeah.
Aw. Such
Absolutely.
babies.
Well, you know what? With every year, as we advance every year, we get a more movie news, which means we get more movie mafia. We never stop, no matter what. 100 years movie mafia podcast. We'll never die. And with that being said, we got a jam-packed show. So let's get right into
If
it.
we never die, does that make you invincible?
And you know what? You might be right.
Segue.
You might be right, because speaking of Invincible episode 7, we got that this past Friday, and we have episode 8, the finale episode of Invincible, coming up this upcoming Friday. So, Lauren, on that topic, what did you think of this past episode?
Drama. So it's like the moment where Invincible's now like, oh shit, like my dad's a murderer. And now it's a turning point for every young man to be like, my dad's a piece of shit. What now? But yeah, lots of fight scene. You get to see that like weird monster thing with like the squid face. I really know the names of everything. Cecil wastes a shit ton of the government's money for 10 seconds of entertainment, probably really destroying the environment as well. And we love Adam Eve. She's like just doing her thing. And yeah. And the freaking the robot takes I was kind of right with that. You remember we were debating that? And I was like, he's gonna use the DNA to make a new body for the weird decrepit guy, and he did that. So if there was a bet, I win. Yeah.
You know what? I guess you were right about that. I was so sure he was gonna do some nefarious shit with Rexplode, and he was gonna like clone him to make like a different like version of him. I was so sure that was gonna happen. I did not see it coming that he was going to become take his DNA. That was so strange. What did you think about it, Max?
I love this episode. I thought this was the best episode so far. I actually like that Amber knew and still dumped him because he really couldn't trust her. And she knew that. So I like that breakup. That works. But the violence this episode is pretty good. Omni-Man killing people in his house was pretty violent. Ripping people in half. I mean, it was pretty violent. And then, I like the robot stuff a lot. The fact that he wanted to do Rexplode's blood because she was, the monster girl was into him. I thought that all made total sense. So I love this episode.
All I'm left with is Immortal going to come back again? Like, they cut his head off. And then he came back.
What's the deal with Immortal's powers? Because he wasn't able to come back until they put that little like shoulder pad on him.
Yeah, I mean, like they did like a whole like I don't know what that was. I forget what they called it. But like even the government couldn't put Immortal back together. Like they actually tried and they failed. So it's like the government couldn't do it, but these guys like lucked into doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so and that was just with the head. This time they like punched a hole through his chest.
Yeah, and I like that they had like the 3 news helicopters surrounding the whole fight, so everyone saw Omni-Man do everything. Yeah. So it's clear that for a second to last episode of the season, a lot happened action-wise. It's normally where you set up the finale, but I thought they did a great job of having so much action in this setup episode.
Yeah, when I saw Omni-Man killing Immortal on that live broadcast, I was getting real John Walker
like
vibes.
The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
When like killing the.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The flag party people.
Yeah, the flag smashers, yeah.
Oh yeah, the flag ravers, yeah. Because it kind of reminded me of that. It's like the classic, the media, because of media and technology, you're seeing your strongest hero or like the hero like killing someone, and you're like, shit, this is the guy we have our trust in. Like, we're fucked. We're just
Yeah.
wasting a lot of episode. I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
Cheers.
you're all good. You're all good. I mean, I just think, just going back to that, like, I really just feel like I have some relief that Omni-Man was finally seen by somebody. Like,
Yes.
we've known since episode 1 that something's going up with him. Like, he's a bad guy. There's something wrong with
has
this dude. And
anger
every
management
episode it's growing.
problem.
But he still cares for his family too at the same time, which I thought was a good balance. Like he still obviously cares for his wife, he cares for Mark, and we still don't know why he's doing it. We still don't know, and it's setting up for Omni-Man versus Mark next week, which is gonna be awesome.
I feel like, remember when Invincible or whatever his name is, Mark, was at the Martian planet, and he said like, "Oh, I'm from this whatever his alien race is," and they're kind of like, "What?" Like, because he's saying like, "I'm here to protect the humans," and I felt like they weren't really like, nah, like no. And I feel like the dad lied to Mark about the whole history of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're
Possibly.
gonna do like they're like the last 2 people alive or something from their planet. I wonder if that's
Like
the
a
twist that they should
Superman
give.
type thing.
Yeah, exactly. Also, if there's that many people that are that powerful running around the universe, like,
Yeah, you'd see them
that's
by now.
that's kind of insane.
I'm shocked they haven't greenlit season 2 yet.
I totally agree. They absolutely should have greenlit season 2 by how popular the show is. I totally think that's a misstep. I'm sure that that's gonna come. I think they're just waiting
Yeah.
to see like a whole, the whole end of this finale episode and
And it'll have no competition this Friday. Falcon Winter Soldier's done. There's no big movie coming out, so it should be the talk of town on Friday.
For sure. I totally agree with that too. And another thing I'm looking forward to, I really hope, I think his name was like Battle Beast, like that like lion looking thing that beat the crap out of or whatever his name was, beat the crap out of Invincible in the one episode a couple episodes back.
Oh yeah,
Um
yeah.
I've been wondering if they're going to bring him back to fight Omni-Man, because he beat the crap out of Invincible and like the entire new
Mhm.
Guardians of the Globe.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I
then
wonder if how he would stack
was
up.
Omni-Man like watching that fight from a distance?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, do you think Omni-Man knows that that guy is a threat to him at all, or he's just like checking on his son?
Dude, I don't think he thinks anyone's a threat to him.
Yeah.
No,
I
he's
think he's
I
just
don't.
so cocky. It's
Very.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I just so many. I have the best part about this show is I have absolutely
No idea.
no idea what's gonna happen in this finale episode. Like, I
None.
assume Mark is gonna realize Omni-Man's a bad guy and they're gonna fight, but I have no clue. I really have no clue. I thought that Mark and Amber were building towards like a relationship, but is that done, or is that going to come back?
I think it's
Or is
done.
Mark now going to go to Adam Eve? Like, what's going on? Like, what is happening? I don't know. There's so much going on. Who's going to live? Who's going to die? I couldn't tell you. I have no chance I can guess it right.
I could see the Mark's relationship going either way. Like, I could see it. I literally could see it going there because it looks like it's directing towards him, like liking Adam Eve and doing that because they're both superheroes and like they can fight crime together. And then like the other way is like I think there's like a nice cliche where he goes for the girl who's like not the superhero too. So I think it could do both. And then back to like why Omni-Man is killing everyone. So like let's forget about like good and bad and like the whole idea of things can be bad and but justify like but be good in the end. So
Yeah.
it maybe it's some type of sacrifice to avoid other creatures coming to this planet. Maybe he has to keep the amount of supers like low because if there's too many super creatures, then they're a threat to other civilizations and other galaxies. So
Yeah.
maybe by killing the Guardians, the most powerful people on the planet, now it's like Earth is safer.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't by that same logic, wouldn't you just like group up your forces to fight the bad guys as opposed to
Or
like
maybe
hiding
because
from them?
or maybe because Mark has powers. Maybe there's too many Viltrumites or something like that, where there can't be any more supers than just 2 of them on the same planet. I have no idea. I'm just speculating.
Like
You're
it
right.
probably is like he's trying to keep Earth like his little like control experiment with his wife and his son. And if he's keeping all the other things away, he can keep his family. Maybe if something happens, he's gonna lose his whole family. If like people find I don't know.
I think
Um,
people just found it out this last episode that he's a murdering machine. This past episode.
Yeah, but sympathize.
Maybe I have no idea. I wonder how Debbie reacts to everything because they were definitely setting up that fight, and she was like, "Don't." She's a very interesting character who I hope gets the right usage next week.
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I totally, I'm right there with you. I think
He
there's,
deserves to know.
I just think there's so many different ways that this episode can go, and I just think that's some of the reason why I like Invincible as a show so much, is it can go so many different ways, and all these outcomes that we've talked about, I think can all be interesting and all can be explored in their own way and be good. So when you have a
Yeah,
show that can have like 5 different endings or so, that's like all really compelling and interesting, I think that's the telltale sign that your show is really, really well done and really deep and has a lot of um, interesting, complex storylines that
totally.
that you can build off of. But outside of Invincible, because like I said, there's not too much we can talk about until we get the finale. Then we can really dive
Yeah.
on it this upcoming Friday. But outside of Invincible, there was some other movie news that I wanted to touch on quickly. So we got the first trailer for the third Conjuring movie. So it's called The Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It. So that's a pretty I don't know if I really like that title. But this is the trailer we got. So we got a full length trailer. If you guys have watched The Conjuring, it's a horror film. So we have this is the third Conjuring movie, and the other two are actually pretty good, and with a
How
whole
was the
slew of
second one?
spin-offs.
I think I only saw the first one.
Yeah, I thought
Sounds
both
really good.
the first and the second one I thought were both really good. But you have
Yeah.
all these spin-offs too. They have like I think there's like 3 Annabelle movies. And there's
Nun.
there's The Nun. Yeah, The Nun is another one of the movies. They're all in this same like Conjuring universe. But these the movies that are actually The Conjuring are like the main movies. And the Annabelle movies and the Nun movies are kind of like separate. But right, yeah. So I'm a huge horror movie fan. I'm a huge fan of The Conjuring, and I'm super excited about this third movie. One of my favorite things about The Conjuring is that they're always based off a true story in a sense. Like
Yeah.
obviously it's exaggerated because it's a movie, but these are based off of like real stories or real like accounts from people who say that they've had experiences out with paranormal or like
Yeah.
witchcraft or whatever it might be,
And this
or like
trial is
possession.
real. And
Yeah,
this
so
trial is real.
right, yeah,
So
yeah. This is Max, you saw the trailer. You got a chance to see the trailer actually in theaters. So, what were your
I
impressions
did.
of it?
I loved it. I thought it was really good. It was nice to see the two main characters, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, play back because they're the heart of the franchise. But it looked really cool. The opening scene was like, I knew it was coming, but I thought it was fun. And I just hope it's scary. The coloring of dark and light in the trailer was also really well done. Where like Vera Farmiga's running off the cliff and then it goes to light and then she falls. It was a very cool ending to the trailer. So I love the first two films. So I'm excited for this one.
Absolutely. And one thing I was looking at, but I couldn't find a set answer to. So I wonder if you know this or not. But it looks like The Conjuring is going to come to theaters and I think HBO Max too.
Yes.
Do
Yep.
you know if there's going to be a paywall under it?
No, it's for free with the streaming service.
Interesting. So that's definitely something to note. I wonder how that's going to affect their sales in theaters.
Just like Mortal Kombat and Godzilla versus Kong. Same
That's
thing.
true. That's true. It seems like the only people doing significant paywalls behind their movies is Disney Plus. But
How about Godzilla versus Omni-Man
Maybe.
versus
Omni-Man would still win, dude.
He would.
Godzilla
Omni-Man's a
and
baller.
Kong and Starfish versus Omni-Man?
Okay, wait. In Godzilla versus Kong, who won?
Yeah, I have no
They
idea.
both won.
Godzilla. Godzilla won.
Did they
No, they
rock
both
paper,
won.
Godzilla won.
I mean, come on. They both technically won. It was
Godzilla
1-1.
beat the crap out of him and left him on
The
his
second
deathbed.
round.
Then went and fought someone like a Mecha Godzilla and was sort of holding his own.
Okay.
There's
I
no
think
chance.
the movie
Godzilla
wanted
won
to
hands down.
Okay.
I'm dying on this hill, Max. There's
You
no
can.
world in which Kong won.
Okay.
There's no world, bro.
It's
Kong
gonna
won the
say that
fight
on
for
the
like
tin
10 minutes, and then Godzilla literally beat him to a pulp. Then Kong was on the ground dying, and they had to like
Yeah.
defibrillate his heart to bring him back to life. And
I
the
didn't
only
mean to-
reason
arms.
Godzilla didn't kill him right there is because Godzilla also had to fight Mecha Godzilla. No shot. He doesn't kill Kong.
Wait.
Okay, we'll read that in your thesis when you write your paper on that.
Okay. Okay. All I'm
Did you wanna
saying is
jump
I'm
to
right.
Dexter?
What?
Do you want to jump to Dexter?
Absolutely. I actually before we do jump though, Carter, I did want to hear. You saw you watched the trailer for The Conjuring 3, right? What were your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I mean, it's sort of hard for me to like even understand it entirely because I haven't seen the Conjuring movies. I do need to watch them. I'm kind of iffy with demon horror movies though. That's the only kind of like horror that freaks me out. But I mean, if you guys said the first two are good, I'll probably end up checking them out. And I do have an HBO Max subscription, so as long as I see the first two ahead of time, I'll definitely check out the third one.
Well, listen, man, I've been wanting to rope Gabby into another horror movie again.
No.
So you guys just come over. We'll
No!
watch a bunch of horror movies. We'll freak her out at the same time, and I'll get you to watch some of these movies. I think this is a win-win.
I'm
No.
sold. I'm there. Time
This
and a
is
place, and I'm there.
bullying.
Listen,
Hey.
if you can get Yulia to go, I can get Gab to
Oh
go.
yeah, she's on board. She'll be on board. 100%.
Gab knows I'm right.
Yeah.
Oh
I
man.
won't literally cry.
We could tell her we're gonna watch Frozen, but then like it won't be.
It comes out what? Jacob, do you know the date? June something, right?
June 4th. June 4th
Oh, that's
is when it
soon.
comes out.
Wow.
It's like
Yeah.
a month.
About
That's
a month away.
really
Oh,
wow.
I'll
First
be
trailer.
on vacation.
Yeah.
I'll be on
Okay.
vacation. Oops.
I will figure out a way to get you to watch this movie, Gab.
Do
This
it
is
in
the
a
last
theater.
thing I
That's
do.
fun. Theater's fun for horror.
Oh my gosh.
You
Absolutely. I
could
totally
grab all
agree.
the strangers in the theater so they jump.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I literally will start crying. I have a picture of like a haunted house one year, and like my biggest fear of clowns, and they had clowns chase me. And I ended up crying and literally hyperventilating, and I had to leave because I was not okay. So
Oh,
Well, look, we
geez.
can make it a movie mafia special. Like we'll record
Yeah,
you
we'll
and get
all
like a
dress
live
up.
reaction.
Yeah. Post on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, as Lauren did mention earlier though, Dexter, we finally
Yeah.
got our first, albeit sneak peek and very, very sneak peek, but we got a little bit of Dexter news. You guys know I am a Dexter maniac fanboy, as you can see from the little poster behind me.
From the tiny poster.
My
not the big
undersized
one.
poster. Yes, my undersized post. Hold on. Undersized poster. I'm really trying here. My undersized poster of Dexter. So, if you guys don't know, Dexter's a TV show about a serial killer. He's the main character, and you root for him because he kills other serial killers or other people that are bad. He is a killer raised by a cop, and the cop noticed, hey, look, my son is gonna be a killer, so I'm gonna teach him to only kill bad people. So that's what he does. So he kills people, but only bad people. So in a weird way, you root for him, even though he's a bad guy. So and that's kind of the motivation for him. So Dexter ran for maybe like 2006-ish to like 2013, something like that. So and then it had 8 seasons, and it ended as like one of the very anticlimactic and one of the most scrutinized finale episodes of like any TV show of all time. Right there with like Game of Thrones and Sopranos. So, but season 9 has been announced. It will be coming on Showtime's streaming service. Another streaming service I have to buy now, or pirate, or whatever we're gonna do about that. But but yeah, so we did get our little sneak peek. So Lauren, I know you're also a Dexter fan like
Yeah,
me.
it's like 10 seconds. It's
Yeah.
barely even tease. Like, cause like we knew, cause then we leave off like we knew he was doing this whole lumberjack thing.
Yeah.
It's like the hatchet makes sense because it plays into like where we left off, but also like murder. We love hinting to murder. And he says like, I have to get back to my nature or something in the
Yeah.
teaser,
And that means killing.
which is murder, by
Yeah.
the way. If you've not heard his nature, it's killing people, bad people.
So what we know so far is that Michael C. Hall is back as Dexter, and he will be killing people. Also, there were some leaked photos on set that suggest it's in a
Ooh.
Christmas theme, like there's Christmas decorations everywhere. So it's likely that this show will be released probably this upcoming holiday season. That's when I'd imagine it'd be releasing. Which is typical for Dexter seasons. So, I'm not too surprised by that. So it's probably coming out towards the back half of this year, even though there's nothing official announced yet. You know, there's not too much on the cast that we've seen. You know, only kind of like
Everyone's like dead.
yeah,
Like
only,
everyone was dead.
they've only really announced the only cast they've announced other than Michael C. Hall is all new characters we've never seen in Dexter before. They haven't announced anyone returning. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see if anyone actually gets announced. You know, I'm hoping Jennifer Carpenter comes back as Deb, even though, you know,
Ghost Deb.
technically she's dead, but like I think she's gonna come back like Harry, kind of be on his shoulder. So we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. As a massive Dexter fan, I am salivating at just the thought of more Dexter
So
in my life.
when does it come out?
Like I said, it's not confirmed, but since they have
Oh,
Christmas decorations on set, it looks like
that's
it's
so
probably likely
far
to
from
be around
now.
Christmas. Yeah, probably
Yeah,
towards like
can you have
December.
it now instead? And like,
I
is his
wish.
he's still with his son? So Dexter is a kid that he like basically abandons. So we need to know like how much time has passed and like what's the son doing?
Also, what about what
What's her
about Yvonne? The actress name is Yvonne
Yvonne?
Strahovski, but he's Hannah.
Yeah.
So is Hannah was last seen with Dexter's son, like doing their own thing in where were they? Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
So where the heck are they? Are they is Hannah coming back for this? Did
Is Hannah now? Does she still murder men and like marry them and murder them?
who knows? Who knows?
Black Widow.
Honestly. Honestly. And you know, another thing we just talked about Dexter being like a quarter 4, most likely being a quarter 4 release for this year. Um, other shows that we got in that same aspect, we got a little bit of leaks, um, because some Netflix execs were talking to their shareholders, and they had to give tentative plans for the release of their premiere shows, their big selling shows. So that's You, The Witcher, and Sex Education are three of like the major TV shows that Netflix has been doing really well in these past couple years. So at their shareholders meeting, they announced that both You season 3 and The Witcher season 2 will be premiering sometime in quarter 4 of 2021. So that's going to
So
be
you,
around like October, November, December, something like
that's
that.
so far from now.
I know, but The Witcher season 1, I personally thought it was
Yeah.
so good, so I cannot wait for a season 2. And then
And
You,
then
I mean,
the
I'm a Dexter
cliffhanger
fan,
is you.
so yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I'm a huge Dexter fan, which we just talked about, and You is
You're gonna have
basically
so
Dexter
much
light.
TV to watch.
I
So
know, I
many
can't wait.
shows.
And Sex Education
Yeah.
3 season 3 was also like there was also like tentative plans for that to be sometime in the back half of 2021. That could be as early as like, the fall, or could be as late as like the Christmas time. But I'm not entirely sure with that.
I'm so excited for Sex Education. I love that show so much. So much. So good.
I
But speaking of things coming to Netflix, guess what is coming to Netflix, guys? Jeopardy. That build up. Jeopardy is coming May 10th. I just want everyone to know we get to see Alex Trebek, RIP him, but like that's coming, and Madagascar 3 is coming on Saturday, and you better know at midnight on Saturday, if that's when it comes out. I don't know, just know it comes out on Saturday. I will be watching it. So I want everyone to know. And Carter, you were new, but when I talked about it like last week or the week before, I can't remember at this point.
Last week.
Saying the da 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 circus, da 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 Afro circus, Afro polka dot Afro. That plays rent free 24/7 in my head. So it just is only fitting that like Madagascar 3 is like one of my favorite movies to watch. Wow. We'll just say wow. Like we'll just say to watch. So
What if we all watch Madagascar 3 with you? Then will you watch the Conjuring movies with us? Can we make a deal?
Well, okay, I actually found the picture from when I had to leave early. Here's me crying on the ground.
Oh jeez.
Oh my god.
I just don't.
You can hide under a blanket if you get scared. You'll be all right.
Well, when I watched The Shining on Halloween, my friend, he had like marks in his wrist from me digging my fingernails into his wrist.
Gosh.
So
You got that, Carter. You got that.
I'm the arm guy.
Yeah, you can sit next to her.
Oh,
Agent
jeez.
Carter.
Agent Carter. Future name similarity.
Oh my god. Oh boy. Oh, and I did wanna I did want to go back real quick. I saw that Yulia asked in our chat if Love was pregnant at the end of season 2 of You, and yes, you're right. At the end of You season 2, we ended on Love being pregnant, and so she's definitely. I mean, I assume that she's gonna actually have a kid. Hopefully it's not like something lame like a miscarriage. But
Wow, thanks for spoiling it. I'm literally on like episode 4.
An
Oh,
empty plot.
that
That's
is your
one
fault
way
for
to
not
put it.
watching it. That came out in 2018. I blame you.
Damn.
That's one way to put it.
I'm sorry, Gab. I'm sorry. Blame Yulia, all right? But
Oh,
I blame
jeez.
you.
Wow,
Oh,
you're blaming
boy.
our viewers, Jacob? Come on.
yeah, you're right. The podcast is going
The loyal
downhill. I gotta
fan.
close the doors. I gotta close the doors on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm super excited for all the shows that we have coming up. But now the time has come, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh boy.
What everybody has been waiting for. We're finally here. We are the Falcon and the Winter Soldier podcast, and we had the finale episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 6, the last time we'll ever see Sam addressed as Falcon.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, Carter, I know you're a massive fan of the show.
Oh yeah.
What were your thoughts? I'm so curious to hear what your thoughts were on this episode.
I really feel like this might be controversial. Like, not what I'm saying. I just think we might all argue about this because I have a feeling. I know some people really didn't like it. I loved the finale. I thought it was so good. I thought it was a really good way to wrap up the show. I mean, obviously there's some loose ends, but what else are you going to expect from Marvel? They're never going to tell a complete story. They always need to set up more movies, TV shows, whatever. I thought it was better than the WandaVision finale by a long shot. I really didn't like the WandaVision finale that much, but that's not what we're talking about. But like the reveal just at the beginning with Sam in the cap suit, just insane. I was so happy. I wish we could have seen him take it out of the box, but I mean, it was fine. Watching him flying with it on, so sick. I really enjoyed the opening of the episode. Everything else was really great too. I'll let some other people talk. I don't want to talk about the whole episode myself. I'll just throw in the conversation.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I thought that I thought, as I expected, the Flag Smashers were so underwhelming. Like, I
Yeah.
know that they cut out. We talked about this last episode. I don't know if you got a
Yeah,
chance to see it,
a
Carter,
lot.
but we talked about that the Flag Smashers had a lot of information cut out, and a lot of scenes that they shot were kind of scrapped. So it makes it harder, for them to tell the complete story that they had
We don't know
intended.
what's going on.
Yeah.
But, are they actually all dead?
It
I
seems,
don't think so. No.
It seems like it.
Like, because I know Zemo wanted them dead, but like, did they survive the
Well,
explosion?
I don't know.
I think didn't they say no survivors on like the
Yeah,
newscast?
those people are dead. No, those people are definitely dead. Yeah,
Were
they're
there
dead.
any other? I don't think there were any other super soldiers because Zemo broke all of the other vials of the serum in episode
Yeah.
4. Well, oh yeah,
Well, John
that's
Walker,
true.
yeah.
Walker. But I mean,
John
other
Walker.
than Walker, like, there's
Why
no
does
other
he
like
get a-
flag smasher.
Why do we give
Yeah.
Walker a new suit?
He's U.S. agent.
It's comic accurate, yeah.
Who paid for that?
Madam Hydra.
Telling me my tax
Louis
dollars
Dreyfus.
are going to giving that murderer a new costume?
Yes, that's what I'm telling
That's
you.
That's
exactly
my
what it
tax
is.
dollars?
That's the message of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that your tax dollars go towards supporting evil super soldiers.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's an
And I
underwhelming
did
message.
like we get to see Isaiah gets to see Sam as Captain America, and he's like, "Shit, he fucking did it! He did it!" He's like, "Cause
Yeah.
he was gonna do it." So that was cool that he got to like have that moment, and then Sam takes Isaiah and I guess his grandson to the
Eli.
Captain America Museum, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Look, you get a gold statue. Congrats, you get a statue." So good
I'm
for him.
glad they kept Isaiah Bradley in the show. Like, after the first episode came out, I was kind of worried that they'd just throw him in the first episode just with like, oh, it's kind of like Sam, but like I'm really glad that like as Sam developed and eventually became Captain America, he also kind of shared that journey with Isaiah. Like, it actually felt like a really good payoff. And like above that, like the political like connections like to the real world in the show was just so good. That literally like blew me away. Like I did not expect a Marvel show to have like this much of a political undertone. It was actually really, really cool.
No, speaking on that,
covering immigration and like deporting people,
Mhm.
which are like they weren't saying like exactly what's happening now in America,
No, yeah.
but it's absolutely referencing everything that like is kind of
Yeah.
going on. And it's cool that they definitely related it to like the modern day.
No, yeah, and kind of on that, it's really like the timing that there's a Black Captain America kind of syncing up with what's happening in the world with the Derek Chauvin trial. Like, it literally could not be a more perfect time to introduce a Black Captain America. I think it's such like progression. It's like really giving people a sign of hope, and where it's like a sigh of like a relief too. So I think the timing of just releasing it with what's happening in the world is absolutely perfect. Like that's something that is like newsworthy.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Now
And
he needs a movie. Let's give him a movie.
He's getting a movie. They
announced that.
They announced Captain America 4.
As soon as this finale episode came out, they announced on social media that Captain America 4 will be coming, and I don't know if they're doing what would you say?
And the creator Malcolm Spellman of the show is writing the script for so it's definitely Sam's movie, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Cool, that's awesome. So is that like in a year or something?
Oh,
No,
probably
it's
a lot
early
longer.
development.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Phase 5, honestly, because they've already announced so much on the slate for Phase 4. I can't see it coming out before like 2023.
Bro, I am gonna lose my mind if this Captain America 4 movie comes out before Deadpool 3. Because I keep seeing news that Deadpool is still in the early stages of writing.
Yeah, they're very hesitant about it.
It's bothering me. Like, dude, Disney, you knew this. If you're gonna buy Deadpool, you gotta make him R. We knew this. Oh, you just let Ryan Reynolds do whatever the hell he wants to do.
Don't even write a script.
Deadpool 2 was not very good.
It wasn't bad. Deadpool 2 was good. Yeah, Deadpool 2 was good. I mean, the first one was amazing, but you're never gonna be as good as the first one. Making a second movie, it's just not with a character like Deadpool.
Frozen 2.
And The Empire Strikes Back, and Back to the Future too.
Okay, but I mean like of a character that's niche. Like that's like a universe.
I got what you're saying.
Like Deadpool is a niche character. Like his first movie is gonna be the best one.
But I do want to say overall, I had fun with the episode. I had a lot of issues with the episode, especially the Sharon Carter stuff. Just did not work for me at all. Painfully obvious. I think we were talking about that the past couple weeks that it kind of feels like they were leaning in that direction. But a lot of people are saying she's a Skrull based off of how she's changed character totally 180. But it can't just be every time a character turns on someone, it's a Skrull. But she is acting totally out of character this entire season, I thought. And and they said in Endgame that she was blipped. So for her to become the power broker in like 5 months doesn't make a lot of sense.
That is true,
So I just think that it didn't make a lot of sense. As you said, the villains were just horrible in the show, and not to the fault of the actors. I thought Erin Kellerman, who plays Carly, was very good in the show. I just think, and her fight with Sam not fighting back, was a very good scene. Mm-hmm. I just wish that the Flag Smashers had more of a motive. It was just a little all over the place, especially this episode where she was like, "We're gonna kill the people," and they were like. The other people they were pretty hesitant, and then they just move on. They should have dove deeper into the hesitancy of the rest of the Flag Smashers.
Yeah, like I thought it'd be interesting if the group members, and then the flaggers, if they started like fighting each other, being like one of them would be like, "No, we shouldn't," and kind of like, "Yeah, we should," and if they like brawled it out, and then like that would be more of like seeing their the behind the scenes of the Flag Gang.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that they introduced the Flag Smash. The Flag Smashers, like as a group, it's sort of like in the show it like blurs the line between who do we call the heroes and who do we call the villains, because like the Flag Smashers definitely aren't heroes, but they're probably not villains either. And it just kind of sucks that by the end of the show they just kind of throw that all out the window and they're like, "Oh, we'll just kill Carly. That's over. They were the villain of the show." Like, also I don't really get John Walker's change of heart at the end when he helps out Bucky toward the end of the episode. I just feel like that's not in his character. Like I couldn't have seen him doing that.
Yeah. I love the John Walker stuff. I only thing I don't like about the John Walker stuff this episode was everyone being cool with him doing stuff.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I didn't like. I love Wyatt Russell, and I think that he did a great job. And I think what they did in the comics too, and they do it here too, is that he always wanted to do good. He has PTSD. He's an anti-hero. He'll never be Captain America. That's the whole point. I thought they did well with the show, was make him an anti-hero. He still wants to do good, but he still gets in his own way a lot of the time.
But like, I just couldn't help but feel like Steve Rogers would have never let John Walker walk around. Like the minute John Walker comes in, Steve Rogers would have shut him down no matter what. Like he would have never allowed him to be there.
That's the point. The government chose him, and that was the whole point of the show, is that he clearly isn't Captain. That's why when he messed up with holding the truck and his shield fell down, the real shield was the one and the real Captain America is the one who saved the day, which I thought was good.
Right, but it took away from Sam's character as the new Captain America when I'm like seeing these scenes where like I guess he's supposed to be his own guy, but at the same time, like I just couldn't help but feel like, dude, the real Captain America would have not let John Walker get out of here alive. Like even if he was gonna work with him to take down Carly, like he would have taken him out at the end. Like he would have had a plan for him where at the end, he's still hunting for John Walker. He's still trying to, arrest him because he deserves to be arrested. Like I just can't help but feel like that.
Could say the same thing about Wanda, honestly.
Yeah.
About Civil War. She killed innocents in Civil War, and she's still roaming
by
around
accident, though. Well,
it's still killing people, innocent people.
I suppose. And you know what? On this topic, Yulia has been putting Carter on blast in our chat right now.
Oh,
she said Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a great show to nap to, isn't it, Carter? So you're getting put on blast on your first episode.
No,
here.
That's not me. She's the one. Okay, there's 6 episodes in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? We watched all of WandaVision together, and she loved it. We watched the first 3 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier together, and before the last 20 minutes, every single one she fell asleep. Like I'd literally be watching it, and I'd look down, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I just watched the last 3 without her mostly. She was the one who fell asleep during it. I enjoyed it a lot.
So let's have her review it.
Yeah, get her on here.
Oh my gosh, you're right. You're right. Honestly.
I also want to add that there was a second post-credit scene that's now in Black Widow. I don't want to spoil why it's in Black Widow for people to be surprised in, but I know why it's in Black Widow. So there's supposed to be a second one because I thought the post-credit scene sucked in this show. And I was so disappointed by the post-credit scene. This one was just whatever post-credit scene. So it will be in Black Widow involving Zemo. So that should be exciting.
Oh, nice.
Zemo.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to Black Widow. I'm a big Florence Pugh fan.
So excited.
Yeah. So am I. She's great.
I'm a massive fan of. I'm a massive fan of Rachel Weisz. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
Rachel Weisz, yeah.
Yeah, she was the girl from The Mummy. I used to love that show as a kid.
And David Harbour's in it, so that's great.
Yeah.
And he's a dude from Stranger Things, right? He's a cop.
Yeah, he's Hopper. Yeah. So, but I did enjoy the show. I liked WandaVision more personally, just because Falcon and Winter Soldier struggled with not being able to talk about week to week. It should have just been a bingeable show. Because WandaVision, there's theories and there are way more Easter eggs to talk about. Falcon Winter Soldier is very just, it happened, you talk about it that day, and then you kind of forget about it until Friday. So, but Loki I was most excited for, so I'm pumped for Loki the most.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. That is definitely what I'm most looking forward to of this list of Marvel, movies and shows to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, then we also have Hawkeye coming out toward the end of the year. That's I think that's going to be an unexpected banger.
I'm asleep, dude.
Good.
Haley Steinfeld is one of the best actresses in Hollywood right now. She's really good. So that's why I'm pumped for the show. She's excellent.
I think it's going to be really good. Hawkeye needs.
Yeah, this year alone we have Loki coming out, and then we have Shang-Chi, Black Widow, Eternals, and Spider-Man.
Can I just say something?
One.
Yeah, I actually think the What If show is going to be really interesting.
It's going to be awesome.
If any of you guys have watched Arrow, the CW show, there's no shot I'm going to be able to watch Hawkeye without constantly comparing it to Arrow. Like the first 3 seasons of Arrow are some of the best superhero TV I've ever seen. They're so good, and there's no way Hawkeye is going to do anything that's better than that. He's always going to be in the shadow of Arrow.
Hawkeye also has the benefit of being in the MCU because, the CW shows are connected, so it's not like Arrow is just on his own. But, the MC, there's just
MCU
so
is
much you
huge,
can
but like
do.
he
Yeah.
has literally no storylines. Like the most we ever got from a Hawkeye storyline was like when they were at his house in Age of Ultron,
Oh, and
Well,
there
and
was
an
Wow.
and
Endgame.
that was like
He was
10
their
minutes.
MVP in Endgame. I loved him in
Yeah,
Endgame.
Hawkeye was great in Endgame.
He had
I,
like
I
he had like 10 minutes in the beginning, and then there was all the time travel stuff, and I just forgot about like him being all edgy.
I don't know. I think Hawkeye is going to be really good. I mean,
Me too.
hopefully it explores some of his grief now that Natasha's like dead and everything.
Yeah.
Hopefully
But
it'll
dude,
go into that.
he's not even the character I give a shit the most about Natasha dying. Like when Natasha died, I thought to myself, who in the MCU is the most distraught about her death? And it really should be Mark Ruffalo.
Oh,
It
I
really
did.
should be
I
Mark
don't know.
Ruffalo.
Never
No,
did.
no,
Bro,
not.
their relationship was
No,
so
they.
good in Age of Ultron. It was like the
Yeah,
best part
and
of the
no,
movie.
but you have to remember that after Age of Ultron, Hulk left Earth.
Ragnarok.
He wasn't on Earth. Yeah, he went to, I forgot the
Right.
planet's name, but in Ragnarok, yeah,
Yeah.
they weren't together for that long. And I mean, I guess after the snap in Infinity War, they were together those 5 years. But I mean,
And Hawkeye knew her for way longer too.
yeah, exactly. Like, I think Hawkeye would definitely be more torn up about it than Bruce. Not like saying that it's not bad for Bruce, and hopefully maybe I think isn't Mark Ruffalo confirmed to be in She-Hulk, so maybe we'll
Yeah.
see some of that in there. But
There's
no,
a She-Hulk.
yeah, that's another one of the streaming shows
What?
on Disney
It's
Plus
just the
coming
Hulk,
out.
but a girl.
This stuff
Yeah.
up as they go.
I think that one's 2022.
Yes,
I'm not totally sure.
I believe
Yeah.
so.
I'm not too familiar with the character. I know she's either like a lawyer or a judge or something, so
Mhm.
Better Call Saul in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, but they're setting up the Young Avengers totally in the show
Oh,
in the MCU.
yeah,
Because Isaiah Bradley's grandson is Patriot in the comics. Cassie Lang will be a Young Avenger.
Yep.
I'm hoping that my friend Ty is a Young Avenger. Hopefully. So I don't. There's a lot of people who I think are going to be in the Young Avengers upcoming.
Definitely.
So do
I
they-
want Wanda's kids to be part of that.
And
They
them
will
too.
be.
And them too.
Yeah,
Yes,
they will
and
be.
them too.
Smart.
Yeah, totally.
I totally didn't even think
Oh,
about that.
Yeah, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That just made me think about that as soon as Gabby said about Wanda's kids. I can't wait for that. That's probably going to be one of the best Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that
I'm the
one.
most pumped for Spider-Man, just because my
I
favorite
see that.
character, and I grew up loving the Tobey Maguire films. To see all these characters come back is just going to get me pumped.
Oh, definitely.
And I heard,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get a cameo of Daredevil in Spider-Man 2. So
Yeah.
Daredevil's finally gonna be back. I cannot wait. It feels like, dude, I would love to be a writer for Marvel right now.
Mhm.
All these storylines are set up, and it's just like
Yeah.
pick whatever one you want. Like
It's
I
awesome.
would have not wanted to be the writer in 2008 when they were first starting the MCU. Because I would have been like, how the hell do I start all these storylines? But now everything is so set up; it's just on a silver platter, ready to go. It's really a testament to how well they've done creating this universe and creating interesting characters that can branch off. Like the least interesting show for me coming up is this Hawkeye show. I'm still gonna watch it because I still think it'd be good, but like it's the least interesting, and I just think it's really telling that for me, at least from my perspective, the least interesting show is still probably gonna be pretty good. Like I think that's how you know you have a really good universe.
And Ironheart too. So they have a lot of stuff, and Fantastic Four movie coming,
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion, which they got Emilia Clarke and Olivia Colman this week.
Yeah.
So that adds to Ben Mendelsohn and Samuel Jackson. So they have a lot going and Armor Wars too with Don Cheadle. So
Oh,
they
that's
have
right.
a lot. They have a lot.
Absolutely.
And Black Panther 2 on the
There's
table.
just so much.
Thor 3 is shooting with Taika and those people. So there's just so much. And
Thor 4.
Guardians 3. It's amazing.
And the Guardians holiday special too. James Gunn actually just finished the first draft of the script for that. I'm really excited for that. That should be funny.
Man, I'm so excited for all this Marvel stuff, and all it makes me think of is how annoyed I am that DC is so far behind.
Yeah.
Because DC's better, dude. DC's
No.
characters and their stories
No.
are better. They're just
Comic-wise.
so bad in the movies. Yeah,
No.
bro. If you started DC and Marvel with the exact same like directors, whatever, like level of cast, story, DC would blow it out of the water. But
I don't-
That's not the problem with the DC films, though.
DC has
The-
much better characers. Dude,
You look at
how
Snyder Cut?
is Iron Man that good? Marvel is so I'm so impressed.
He's
Robert
Downey.
Downey Jr. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Iron Man was a nobody. Nobody knew
Yeah.
who Iron Man was before 2008. Batman has been one of the most popular superheroes since like the 20s. And that's like the 1920s, bro. Like it's ridiculous. So like Iron Man, nobody knew about him until 2008, and now he's incredibly popular. Like it's insane.
I'll
to me.
say the one thing that's the main difference that DC reuses these characters a lot. We're on another Batman movie with the Batman, and we're asking ourselves, does this connect with Joker? Does it connect with the DCU? Like it's getting ridiculous how they have a universe, but they have separate films, but they also have another separate universe. Like it gets confusing.
The main difference, at least for me, between DC and Marvel is that I think like the DC solo movies are just so much better. I think DC's superheroes just work a lot better when they're on their own. Like when Batman's on his own, he's great. When Superman's on his own, he's great. I saw Wonder Woman 1984, did not enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
But I did see the Snyder Cut though. I forced myself to go through that in like 4 different sittings, and I really liked that. But I don't know.
Dude, I don't think the team up movies, they weren't ready for that. But like, imagine if they just found a director who's as passionate about the Justice League and like DC movies as the Russo brothers are about Marvel. Like I just think having the Russo brothers is the reason for Marvel's success, along with like, making a couple other good movies. But like people forget, if you take out all the Avengers movies, like what did the MCU start off with? Like the Iron Man 1 was a good movie. But like Iron Man 2 and 3 are not that good. And Iron Man 2 is terrible. And the first Hulk movie is terrible. And Thor 1 and 2 are both terrible. So like, and Captain America the First Avenger is okay. Like these like
Oh, dude, no. Yeah, stop.
the First Avenger is a B minus C plus movie.
I love the first
Max is
Captain.
taking
It's
over this
only made
podcast.
as good
You're
by
being
by the
overthrown.
Winter Soldier and like Civil War. Like now you look back at it and you're like, okay, yeah, Captain America's
But
really
the
good.
difference is that I think DC does wrong is that Marvel, you look at these directors, they pull these directors out of obscurity. Like most of them are indie directors like Peyton Reed, Taika, all these types of directors. Even Favreau at the time of making Iron Man wasn't a big time director at the time. So they make the right decisions. DC makes a lot of big, bold directorial choices that have their own vision that don't connect with anything. That's why it doesn't work.
Yulia is so mad at me for shit talking Marvel. She said all the
I
Iron
am
Man movies
too.
are amazing, and she told me to stop
Incredible
shit
Hulk
talking
is a
Marvel.
fun movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Incredible Hulk
Yeah.
might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Are you
Oh
kidding
my-
me?
That's
With-
that's
The Incredible Hulk is
2005 Hulk
terrible.
movie. 2005 Hulk movie is terrible, not this.
I actually enjoyed it because how dumb it was.
Oh my!
Like that was so dumb. It was kind of enjoyable. Like the
No.
2008 Incredible Hulk movie is just pathetically boring.
this slander. Like
Bro, Iron Man 2,
Abomination.
Mickey Rourke or whatever his name was,
No, I
Oh.
agree with you. Iron Man 2 is
Oh.
not very good.
and Iron Man 3 is like okay, it was cool because all the suits and stuff. But like what was the dude's name? What was the bad guy's name? He was all
Killian.
magma. Yeah, Killian, whatever his name was. So
That's
boring. Like they
No,
were
I
all like the
agree with you.
magma guys. Terrible. It was not that good. I know your friend was in it, so I'm sorry. You do have to defend it for his
No, I
honor.
don't
But-
defend him. I tell him that I don't really love that movie. He's fine with that. I've shown him my list. I'm like,
Wait,
it's not.
who's in it?
Ty Simpkins.
He's the kid. In
Yeah,
Iron Man 3.
Oh.
yeah. The kid from Iron Man 3. He was also in the funeral scene
Classic,
at the
bro.
end of Endgame. That's Max's friend.
oh really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I knew he was in Endgame for a while. I just didn't know what part of Endgame he was in. But yeah, I hope they give him a chance to be the next Iron Man because I think I tell him all the time like they put you in Endgame for a reason, dude. They're not gonna forget about you.
I thought that's gonna be his daughter.
I have no idea, but he was in Endgame for a reason. That's all I say. I don't know why they could have never put him in for no, they put him in for a reason is what I'll say.
Well, Yulia is not happy with me about my Iron Man slander, so we definitely have to get her on the
Blame her.
podcast and she can argue with me
Yeah,
about it.
drag yourself.
Listen,
through
all-
the dirt.
All I'm saying,
Let's go. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
all I'm saying is if you discount the Avengers movies, it didn't, like the Marvel universe had a couple pretty good movies, but there was also a bunch of duds. All right, and just like DC has had a bunch of
Well,
duds, but I
no.
just feel like DC jumped into Batman versus Superman, like kind
Yeah,
of team up
no,
movie,
that was
and
the
Justice League
problem,
too
yeah.
early. But
Yeah.
like the first Wonder Woman movie, the first Man of Steel movie, like why is there not a Flash movie yet? A Cyborg movie would have been so good. I would love
Yeah.
to have seen a Batman solo movie. Like imagine if they had all those movies, then I think Justice League would have been really good. But
Yeah.
so when people say like DC does suck right now, I don't argue, I don't disagree. But like I think if DC was done right, it would be so much better.
So why don't you get in the writers' room and you fix all that?
Honestly, yo, Warner Brothers, hit me up. I promise you, I'll write your universe better. And the first thing we got to do is get that bitch out of Aquaman 2.
Oh, yep, 100%.
Okay.
Yep, no, yeah, no. I stand by him entirely now.
I'm talking about Amber
Yep.
Heard because
100%.
of the
No,
abuse
I didn't like
allegations.
her at all, and then Snyder Cut happened, and I couldn't believe that.
That might have been a little harsh. That might have been a little harsh, but like Amber Heard's got to go.
No, yeah, 100%. She's literally a scum of a human being. Literally terrible.
Okay, I'm way too
Welcome
worked
to
up,
the
as you
Amber
can
Heard
tell.
Slander podcast.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely
This
right.
has turned into slander.
From
Jesus.
Jacob. From
She's
Jacob.
literally an awful person.
You guys have lit a fire under me.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't saying anything was bad. You're the one who was defending how bad. Even MCU bad. Even MCU bad isn't awful. That's what I'll say
That's
to you.
true.
See,
Yeah.
awful is pretty awful.
Did you watch?
Every-
Did you watch
every-
Thor: The Dark World?
Yeah, but it's not. It's not as like it's better than
It is
Amazing Spider-Man.
painful.
You know what I mean? Like it's better than Amazing
No, it
Spider-Man.
is
2.
not. Oh, better than
It
Amazing
is.
Spider-Man 2, yeah, but not the first one.
Yeah, it is. Amazing Spider-Man 1 is.
Amazing Spider-Man 1 is
copycat.
good.
No, it's
Amazing
not.
Spider-Man 1 is not bad, dude.
His suit sucks. The lizard sucks.
No, the lizard doesn't
No.
suck. And the
Yes,
suit is just a different variety, bro.
It's a basketball.
Yeah.
But like it's a little bit of a basketball suit. You're right, but
It is.
you're right.
And then,
but
you
it's
know,
not
it's
terrible.
a
The
copycat.
motivations aren't bad.
They're trying to be the first Tobey Maguire movie horribly.
You're making me defend the Amazing Spider-Man, and I don't want to do this. I don't want to defend a movie that I don't think is that good. But
It's not.
But the first two Thor movies
Give
are
up.
pretty bad.
Surrender.
They're not awful. They're just meh.
Bro, do you remember the meaningless dialogue between Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman that just like makes you want to fall asleep?
That's not good. I agree.
Like, oh,
But Loki's in it, you know? For a long
Oh, when's Loki's show?
June.
December.
some-
why do I feel
something.
like it's June 11th? I
The
feel like that's
Loki.
That sounds right.
I was
Yeah.
like, now we turn into the Loki podcast.
The Loki podcast. I'm
Woo!
gonna get horns and shit.
yeah, June 11th. June 11th.
June 11th.
That's
Why is
soon.
everything coming out? Because In the Heights also comes out June 11th.
Oh
There's a
wow.
lot of stuff coming out June. June's a
Is
good
that
month.
is In the Heights going to be on HBO Max? Is that one of the
Yeah.
Warner Bros? Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then Fast comes out June 25th.
Oh god.
I got that trailer in theaters too. I couldn't believe how long it kept going.
Oh wow.
Kept going.
I haven't seen a movie in theaters in a very long time. I don't even remember. Oh, Come Play. It was like, I don't know if you've heard of it. It was a really bad horror movie back in like October. Did not enjoy that.
The last time I saw a movie in theaters was The Invisible Man.
Oh, I still need to see that. I really.
I
wish
saw
had seen that in
Promising Young
theaters.
Women in theaters. I was the only one in the theater.
Wow.
I
Welcome
went
to
over
2021.
Christmas break. I was the only one in the theater. It was hella weird because I was just like the parking. I got front row. Like, you know how you always fight for parking at the movie theater? Nope. Parked my car, went in, bought my ticket the same day, got popcorn, and then I watched the movie. And then when I was done, I was like in tears. And I'm not usually one of those people to like clap at the end of the movie, but I was the only one in there. I stood up. I was like, this movie was amazing. But we all know that's like one of my favorite movies, so it deserves it.
Oh my gosh. I
It
would
won an
have
Oscar.
killed to have been there. I would have killed to see you there. That would have been
It
hilarious.
won an Oscar.
It did. It did. And I know we're a little bit over our time here, so I do want to wrap up the episode in a second. Max, I wanted to give you a minute. I know you saw the Mortal Kombat movie that just came out, so if
Yeah.
you could, if you wanted to give a little quick review of what you thought
Yeah.
about the most recent Mortal Kombat movie.
So this movie came out on Friday. It's currently on HBO Max, and you can go see it in the movie theater. It made $23 million this weekend in the box office, which is pretty good for the pandemic. So I'm not a big. I didn't play the games, but I know a lot of the characters. And I generally have knowledge of it. The movie's about a guy named Cole who is not a Mortal Kombat character. He's a brand new character they put in the movie. He's like a washed up MMA fighter who has the Mortal Kombat logo on him as a birthmark. And when you have it on you, you have to fight obviously for the Earth realm. But he doesn't know that. He has lineage to a pretty big Mortal Kombat character, and he has to learn his own powers to fight for the Earth realm. So a lot of people are going to be disappointed by it because there's, everyone knows Mortal Kombat to be the tournament, and there's no tournament in the movie. The movie is setting up a franchise. So if you don't like setup movies, this is definitely a setup movie. But every time Sub-Zero is on screen, you're having fun. Every time Sub-Zero is fighting Scorpion, it's awesome. It's very gory. It's very much rated R. Some of the deaths are just as good as like Invincible level. Bloody. It gets that bloody. So if you like gore, if you like action, and you like fight choreography, this is a fun movie for you. The story isn't really there. It's very one-dimensional, all the characters. But overall, I had a fun time with the movie. But I saw it in IMAX, so I don't know if that helped my experience at all. But you guys should definitely, if you like Mortal Kombat, definitely check it out. If you're not, maybe don't, because there's a lot of references that could go over your head. So that's my thoughts on Mortal Kombat.
100%. Yeah, well, I'm really looking forward to seeing the movie myself. I know some people want to see it with me, so I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. But at least I know I was a little bit disappointed when I heard some of the first reviews, but at least I know that there's going to be gore. So I am looking forward to
Very bloody. And the first 7 minutes is on YouTube right now. They released like the first 7 minutes, and it is the best scene of the entire film, which is funny that they released that as the promotional material. Definitely watch that video. It's definitely the best scene of the entire film.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll do. And you know what? I think I'm gonna wrap up the show there. I really appreciate everyone coming out for the podcast. Carter, I had a blast having you on. I hope to have you
Had a
on
blast
again in
being
the future.
here. Of course.
Absolutely.
Anytime, hit me up.
Absolutely, will do. And that's us from the Movie Mafia podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Peace.